Hello lovely people, welcome back to the channel. This is Simone here, and today I'm going to show you how I organize and store my collection. So some of you asked me online how I do that, and I think it's time for me to share it. Nothing special, I don't have a crazy system. There is a system to the madness, because I have to have a system, and you'll see why in just a moment. So when it comes to storing and organizing my collection, I go by genre and then I go alphabetically from there within the genre. Obviously, this has to make sense to me rather than to the Discogs, the way Discogs puts it in the catalog. Everything I have is on my Discogs page, I believe. And I believe most of it is correct. Some things might have been updated and maybe not be absolutely correct, but in terms of maybe label variations and things like that, but I believe most of it should be correct. What you will see is 80% of my collection. This is my childhood bedroom in my parents' house. It is the collector's issue space. That's number one issue, together with money, of course. So there's no way I can have all these records with me at all times in London, UK, where I actually live, because of the rental market and the space that we have is just not enough. Whereas here I can store my collection and I know it's safe and I can always enjoy it anytime I'm here. So I'll guide you through it and I'll show you sort of the different areas and different genres, and maybe pull out some stuff from the bins and see what comes out. And hopefully everything that I pull out will be a killer record. I don't like to have filler records in my collection. What I mean by that is not about monetary value, it's about my attachment, my personal attachment to it. If I enjoy the music, if the record has a story to it that I connect on a personal level. I collect records because, to me, I connect with music. I'm a music lover, but also that's how I keep memories of things and people and events. I'm not a picture kind of guy, I'm a sound kind of guy when it comes to memory. So that's how when I'm talking about all killer no filler, to me, not only it's about the musical value of it or the sonical value of it, it's also the memory value of it. That's obviously personal to me. Yeah, let me show you what I have and how I organize and store my collection. Let's go. Okay, so let's start with this. This is all of that. 1, 2, 3. All those bins and boxes are funk and soul, organized from A to Z, and we'll have a look into that in a moment. We then go here, there's a pile on the floor there. That stuff usually goes in the front of it, just for reference. This is sort of all hip hop, 1, 2, 3. Then it goes into R&B, that's the 4 cubes, and then it goes all the way up to Italian hip hop. And then there's some boxes. I don't have a lot of it because I don't really collect box set necessarily if I don't have to. So let's just check out some of the things here that are, I'm just gonna pull out some random stuff. I don't know, let me just go here. What do I have here? Oh, Bobby Thurston. Oh, I love that. Sweet Piece of the Pie. Great soul. Quite cheesy. I mean, I guess, look at the cover, look at the title. I mean, yeah, classic though. Fantastic. Not that hard to find, not crazy expensive, but also not cheap. Yeah, let's just pull another one. I don't know. Let's go here. What do I have here? Oh, classic Isley Brothers. Yeah, go for your guns. Do I need to say more? I mean, all great. Let's go to another place. I don't know. Let's go here. What do we have here? Oh, yes, Detroit Emeralds. I'm in love with you. That's classic sample material. Real crazy drum breaks. I don't necessarily collect drum breaks, but so this is for the sample mainly, but this album is killer. I don't know, let's just do one last one, say there. Oh, look at that, Madeleine Bell. This I got in, I think in Amsterdam or Rotterdam, I think. So yeah, really good, so female soul stuff. So yeah, you get a sense of like what we're dealing with here. What's this? Hodge James Smith, incredible, again, sample material, phenomenal stuff. You get what I'm saying, right? It's like, I don't know, what do we have? Jenny Butler. I have a lot of Jenny Butler, actually. I really like this. And Ninth Wonder sample like this, for instance. This is a big Jerry Butler record, sampled a lot by loads of people, especially Ninth Wonder. That's one of the reasons why I have all of these records is samples. And then I fall in love with the music as part of it. Then here we have, as you can see, the 7 inches. Very few 7 inches because I mostly collect LPs because I like to listen to stuff. Having said that, there's stuff that is only available on 7 inch of all genres, really, mostly funk and soul. But then, you know, for example, we have, what's this, Timu? This is popping dance music from the Sleepers record. You know, let me go to this, Olafur Arnalds. This is a contemporary dance sort of masterpiece. This is sort of electronic ambient kind of stuff on erased tapes. Then what do we have here? Let me go for, oh, Irma Thomas. Oh gosh, this is a phenomenal. I need to listen to this. I haven't listened to this in a long time. We Won't Be in Your Way Anymore. What a phenomenal tune. Go and check that out. Rocky Soul. Produced, fun enough, by Swamp Dogg. But it doesn't sound anything like that. But yeah. Oh, that's a really rare Italian 45 that looks rubbish, but it's actually really good. Anyway, you get the point. Loads of CDs. These are Italian hip hop. This is Italian random stuff. There's some random bits and bobs here, Italian and mixed genre. Yeah. Then on this side, again, we have the hip hop on the bottom, R&B, and then Italian hip hop at the top. So let's go with the hip hop and let's see what's here. Again, just taking some random stuff from here. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is the Benny Tones Chrysalis. This is a quite a difficult, this is actually a 12-inch EP, more than an album. Can I show you properly? Let's have a look. Oh, the light is really unforgiving on this one. Apologies. Let's go with that, Benny Tones. Check it out. Really cool, futuristic hip-hop stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna go there. What do we have? Busta Rhymes, Genesis. I mean, all the Busta Rhymes is amazing. Like you can see, there's a big chunk of, yeah, just loads of stuff. Anything from Little Sims to probably some other Showbiz and AG original with the hype sticker in the shrink. I mean, classic material, all the way to, well, classic that you have to have with the hype sticker. Come on. I mean, to more recent stuff like Rhapsody, to, let's have a look, some classics. Obviously, you have to have the Nas. You know, Illmatic should be here somewhere. And there we go. That's unfortunately not an original, but hey, I think I've only seen the original once in the wild. You have to have your Guru. Yes, you have to have your Eminem original hype sticker. Come on, fantastic. You have to have your Dilla section. You know, quite big Dilla section with all sorts of killer stuff. Just this, I mean, this, come on, fantastic stuff. Two more sort of, how can I describe it? Well, yeah, yeah, I also have this. To, again, more recent stuff, Apollo Brown, loads of Apollo Brown. Look at that, there's a lot of Apollo Brown there, all the way to Alchemist and sort of, yeah, all sorts of stuff. We then go into R&B. R&B means sort of 90s, 2000s post, I would say, R&B music. Anything could potentially go into pop, R&B. For example, I'm seeing here the Justin Timberlake stuff. You know, I'm seeing here, what am I seeing? This is just 112. Again, sort of proper R&B stuff, but then a little bit more poppy, like Joe Stone, Killer, got this at Amoeba. More classic, R&B like Music Soul Child. This is the original version type sticker on it. Loads of Music Soul Child. Love Music Soul Child. So I really, yeah, fan of that. Loads of Jill Scott. Of all I think I have everything from her. What's this? I'm not sure what this is. This is the this is Salt. That's what it is. That's why. Anyway, all sorts of stuff. The Moonchild, the Tom Misch, but I have, you know, the Kiwanuka stuff, a lot of Alicia Keys, as you can see here. That's a big chunk of Alicia Keys, including original version of the Unplugged, probably quite a rare one to find. So yeah, all sorts of stuff there. And then we go still there. I mean, original Janet Jackson Velvet Rope, original. There's a lot of Janet as well because I really like my Janet Jackson. Robert Glasper. It goes all the way to Duele, which I saw recently live in Brixton in London. You have to have your D'Angelo, you know, the Black Messiah, the Voodoo. This is not the original. I had the original sealed copy, but I sold it and I still regret to this day, but this is the best sounding version of this record apparently out there. This is an original Brown Sugar, original steel sealed Craig David with the hype sticker. Come on, that I remember finding at the Little record shop in Crouch End, I think. Anyway, anything from Mary J. Blige, original What's the 4Y1, Corinne Bailey Ray. I did sell all my originals when I needed some money. This is the original as well, though. I love this record. No one really talks enough about this record. To my Erykah Badu, both the original Mama Diana and the repress with the cover, all sorts of stuff, as you can see, the Aaliyah, you know, all that stuff. Then it goes all the way to the Italian hip hop. Now, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because most of you will not connect to this, but there's some real gems on here. You know, this, for example, I really cherish and love. Very rare, original first press of Guillermo and the Love Quartet. I've got, this is a very rare reissue of Uomini di Mare, which is a really well-known underground act. All sorts of stuff that I really love, but again, something that most of you probably will not be familiar with. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but this is a killer part of my collection. Again, I could collect so much more, but this is really stuff that I genuinely enjoy. As you can see, I also have these dividers. They are lifesavers when it comes to then, you know, say R&B, we have the hip hop underneath and whatever, because when I'm moving things around, I want to make sure that I know where things finish and end and when they start, because I might need to move stuff around to make space for other things. So go and get yourself some if you don't have it. Next session, we just have a line here of stuff. We have, this is all chill hop records, instrumental stuff, popping stuff, and then it goes down all the way to all rock and prog underneath there. So when it comes to chill hop, it's everything from number one, sort of the very first Chill Hop Essential, 2016. These are all originals. These are actually quite rare now. All the way to, I think I have 2025, summer 25. I need to buy the very latest ones I still need to buy. Then I have some instrumental stuff. Now, when it comes to instrumental, I don't mean instrumental hip hop, like instrumental versions of hip hop albums. That's a different section. This is just instrumental hip hop music, such as Freddie Joachim Midway, which, you know, these things are designed to be instrumentals from the get-go. And anything to, I don't know, Bink Beats, incredible, one of the best live things I've ever seen, live acts I've ever seen, all the way to Onra, you know, great stuff. As you can see, gosh, that was £17, the original. That was back when it first came out. Now prices went crazy for this, but anyway, yeah, all sorts of beats. instrumental stuff. Cookie Snap, this is an Italian underground thing. Oh, classic trip poppy beats, incredible. Way One Distraction. Got this in Greenwich. Fantastic music. Very small selection of popping music. What I mean by that is popping dance music that is specifically has been made for popping dance. So we're not talking Zap, Cameo, and that sort of Africa Bambata music, but stuff that has been specifically designed for popping dance, like Aaron Evo, like B Bravo, like what do we have? Chromeo, Fancy Footwear Classic, popping dance tunes on here, Damn Funk. So sort of, yeah, you get the gist of it. Everything else here is rare rock and prog. It's not too, some things are rare, some things are not so rare, but like all of these things are just phenomenal. Aluminogeni, Scolopendra, phenomenal Italian prog. I don't know, let's go into the next one. What do we have here? I mean, can, you need to have your can. You know what I mean. We have Flea, Topio Uomini, incredible Italian prog, another classic. Garibaldi, another Italian prog, phenomenal stuff. But then it goes all the way to, like, say, the Shocking Blue, which is a little bit more 60s sounding stuff. Some krautrock, such as Space Guerrilla, Mrs. Bisley, Bayonne Suite. Again, cheap stuff as well as very rare original stuff. This was not crazy rare, but still. All the way to some other stuff, you know, Steel Mill, Steve Miller. I'm just taking random stuff. This is incredible. Wicked Minds, phenomenal. I love these guys. Yeah, honestly, just loads of stuff. Mystery Jones, again, Nuova Idea, Italian prog. My Solid Ground, classic. Obviously the Reissue, because I'm not made of money. Then we have, what do we have? Some Patto. This is unfortunately only unofficial / bootleggy kind of thing, but it's incredible. Sustain, Private Press, incredible fusiony, rocky kind of stuff. This is not, should not necessarily be here, should more be in the poppy. Anyway, it is what it is, but incredible album. Darryl Wells Wolf, really nice. You get the vibe of this. Venetian Power, The Arid Land. What an incredible album. This, I need to remember to talk about this because this is amazing. So you get the idea, but it also has a touch of metal here and there, like, say, for instance, all the System of a Down albums, because I was a big fan, and I still am, of their stuff, their releases, especially this album here. Absolutely like formative album in my teenage years. So you get a sense of it. You also see some posters. This is Nicolas, Italian hip hop or rapper. Corinne Bailey Ray, this when this came out, I got this. This is Dance Show I Did. Some Flying Lotus stuff when it came out. Some Moonchild. We went to see them live twice with my wife. Great show. So yeah, a little bit of memorabilia as well as part of the room tour. Next, we have some more cubes. As you see, these guys are covered by some records right now because it allows me to remember what I actually have underneath them. So here, for instance, this Tatort is a German soundtrack from a German TV show. So this probably will have some soundtracks, exactly. So this, as you see, soundtracks. I don't have a lot of them, but just some all killer, no filler stuff. Again, Corpora Piero Piccioni, Donnie Darko. Yeah, Blaze It Like, look, this is a phenomenal funk one. Obviously, when it comes to soundtracks, there's also a little bit of library as well, where I didn't know where to put it. Shaft, classic, classic stuff. Sheltering Sky, Sakamoto, very dramatic stuff. This is the sample. DJ Premier used this. Can't remember now for what off the top of my head right now, but yeah. Yeah, some all sorts of stuff that has incredible music, incredible samples. you get the idea. We have a very small selection of Latin/Brazilian stuff that includes anything from Carlos Dafe to what do I have here? Daniel Ogre, some more recent stuff. Luciano Perrone. What a crazy percussion album this is. Roger, which is more sort of contemporary Brazilian Latin music, classic jazz, Latin jazz. Obviously their issues. You have to have your Vero Kai, of course. And now we have a very small selection. I trimmed down on this quite a bit when it comes to instrumental versions of albums such as this. You know, like instrumental versions of albums that I really cherish. You know, The Little Brother, you know, like Ferrer Munch. Like all of these things that are really formative, like some Premiere. What do we have? The Tribe Called Quest. You know, some Tupac. This is a bootleg. Sorry, I shouldn't show you that. You get the deal. Then here behind Kate Nash, we have what I consider pop listening stuff. It's not necessarily pop per se, but it's poppy stuff that I can play with my parents not being bothered by. This is basically the selection, the way I put stuff in on here. It does have your James Vincent McMorrow, it does have your Damien Rice, like things that are, I don't want to say easy listening because they're not technically easy listening, but they're, again, more pop oriented. You have to have your Adele, you know, this kind of stuff. Lisa Hannigan, classic, phenomenal album. If you don't know it, go check it out. But at the same time, I also have Lamb on here because, you know, it's still on the poppy side of things rather than trip hop and crazy stuff. I have all the Rumor records that I really love, and also, as you can see here as well, the Season of My Soul. I went to this show, was incredible to hear Rumor live. She's a phenomenal artist. I cannot recommend her enough. Then below here we have this Sven Wunder, Late Again, tells me library. We also have a little bit of acid jazz that includes, what do I have here? Some Cotonete, some Aldo Rande, some stuff that is sort of acid jazzy. I don't know if they're actually acid. Oh, I don't know if I can show you that, or if it will be censored. The Ronnie Jordan, like things like this, where it's more on the acid jazz spectrum of things, I should say. Oh, classic. Charlie Dark it was involved in this. That's how I know this. Then we have some library section. Nothing, it's not too big, but it has some really killer stuff. This is probably one of my favorite and most cherished and rare records that I have. Ennio Morricone. You know, you have some Lazy Man Tension, again, it's relatively rare. What do we have here? Some Janko Nilovic. This is yeah, really good. Den Bosch Find. Manhattan Research. This was sampled by Dilla, famously sampled by Dilla. Oh, a little bit of KPM, a little bit of Sonotone reissues and originals. Yeah, you get the idea. Then we go into Italian pop. So this was international pop. This is Italian pop. This is incredible music that I think doesn't get enough attention as it should do. But obviously things that I mostly grew up with. This might not resonate with most of you, but maybe there's a couple of things here that I think are worth your attention, such as Piero Ciampi, incredible folky, very dramatic music. We have Lisa, she was an international star actually. Then Comes the Sun is actually a UK, English sung album that I think is really nice. We also have this guy, for example, he became an international star, so potentially you might have heard some stuff from him as well in the years, potentially. And then some random bits and bobs here. This is incredible. Western Airedales vehicle. Go and check it out. funky stuff. Then we have here we have a single 12-inch single. So this is going to be the 12C singles mix. So just a bunch of 12-inch singles, anything from boogie to house to hip-hop instrumental that you can only find on a 12-inch. What do we have? Kashmir, Brighter Days, House 12-inch. We have Bright Lights. This is a drum and bass release, which I really like. The Away Team Liquor High, crazy instrumental hip-hop. Setsasonic. This is the very first record I've ever bought with my own money, talking all the jazz. I really cherish this. So many good memories of that. Yeah, all sorts of stuff that is just singles. Here we probably have, this is Genova Canta. Genova is my hometown, and this tells me that we have some random bits and bobs, and then my own stuff. I also produced some stuff, and I printed some records for myself of my own stuff, for just to have it in my collection as a physical media. Random stuff is stuff that I have no idea where to put. And it's good stuff. Jimmy Witherspoon, Even in Blues, I love this record, but I don't have a blues section because I don't really collect blues. But you know, this is an Italian experimental stuff that I'm not sure where to put. Things like Tangerine Dream Classic, but I don't know. I don't have a electronic stuff, you know, section. That would be enough. This is a Spanish release that I sampled, so I'm like, yeah, African Moonlight, Francis Bebe. I love it. But it's an African thing that I'm like, I don't have an African section, so I'm just gonna put it here. And then my own stuff is literally white label stuff that of my own productions here. All sorts of stuff. There's actually quite a bit of stuff already, and there's still more that I still need to print. So there's more of my collection. We now entered as you can see there, the jazz all the way here, the weird / electronic, and the ambient classical here with a little bit of house there. So we start here on the house section, and we have anything from, what do we have? Aqua Bassino, incredible house record, to more classic Saint Germain Tourist, all the way to Osulade Aquarium Moon, Cheap Heat, incredible stuff. And then it goes into ambient, modern, classical kind of things. Anything from Ludovico Einaudi, which is again a classic artist when it comes to classical music, and neoclassical, modern classical, however you want to say it, into more modern, say Niels Fram. This is Roger Eno things. We might have some Inako Mori, phenomenal ambient electronic stuff, all the way to Helios. Oh, this is an incredible album. You get the idea, and you have to have your Max Richter sort of things, and yeah, you get the gist of it. I really cherish this because I can actually play a lot of these records here without my parents getting annoyed, so it gets a lot of plays. This is an area that doesn't get a lot of plays because, yeah, I don't want to drive my parents insane. Weird and electronic, this means anything from, say, for instance, Björk, to, which I love, but, you know, to James Blake. This is the original, the first pressing of the original album, to, I don't know, Gonja Sufi, to, I have all the Flying Lotus. This is one of the best records from Flying Lotus, in my opinion. To anything to even the Cinematic Orchestra, Submotion Orchestra, which I really cherish, one of my favorite bands of all time. To all the way to, say, Shlomo, incredible electronic artist. You gotta check it out if you don't know it. All the way to Tricky and this kind of things. What do we have here? Anthony Valadez, and we also have the Tom York, The Eraser. I love this album. Again, a little bit on the weird side. It's not weird per se, but you get the drift. And then in the bottom row we have all the jazz, some classic jazz, you know, the Abercrombie, Timeless, to some Art, some Art Blakey, some classic stuff that you gotta have in your collection because it's just amazing. Billy Cope and Crosswinds, famously sampled. You have to have all your Coltrane. Franco de Mondo Trio. This is a phenomenal album, famously sampled by Dilla / Slum Village. Bit of Miles Davis, you know. You gotta have your Miles Davis. Some Herbie Hancock. This is the RSD thing that came out relatively recently. All the way to vocal jazz like Joseph James. I love Joseph James. I have a lot of stuff. I think almost everything, if not everything, from Joseph James. Roland Kirk, phenomenal stuff there. John Lee, Conspiracy. This is a rare one. Phenomenal. It's good because it's good. It's rare because it's good. It's not rare because it's rare. Do you know what I mean? More recent Makaya McRaven. This is the original pressing. Been reissued recently as well. To what do we have here? Oh gosh, this is a phenomenal Enzo Randisi Swing Ensemble. If you don't know this, go and check it out. There's a version of Spain on this that is even better than the original Chicoria tune, in my opinion. Ask Aegis Sonny Sherrock, incredible reissue from some years ago. Unisono, it's rock, proggy, fusiony, jazzy kind of stuff. All the way to Monica Zetterlund, incredible Finer Den Bosch. I love this. I mean, look at that cover. This is great music. And anything in between, so spiritual, vocal, modern, classics, everything is sort of in there. I'm very selective with my jazz, as you can see, but again, all killer, no filler, at least for what concerns me, my taste and my memories. Last but not least, I have a wall like stores do. The last time I put a display on top of it, as you can see, it's sort of women sort of, how can I say this? Well, maybe I don't need to say anything about it. You just get the drift of what I was trying to achieve and display here. All incredible music. Everything is funk related, that just, it's killer funk stuff. Yeah, and that's my turntable with my amp. This is nothing fancy at all, but it does the trick. This is the last thing I was listening to, Platinum Hook. It's actually a really relatively rare boogie disco mini LP. So yeah, there you have it. This is it gives you a sense of what I'm dealing with. So there you have it. That's how I store and organize my collection. Everything alphabetically, A to Z within genre, everything in outer sleeves. I don't do the inner sleeve outside of the outer sleeve thing. It's just too much work. I never done it, and I'm not gonna start now. I know most collectors on YouTube do it to showcase the label. I can't be asked, to be honest, because I'm not here to do that. I'm here to share the love that I have for music and share good tunes and good music with you guys. So rather than showcasing the label variation of the record, I'm not too keen on that kind of stuff. And I only highlight it when it's relevant to the pressing or to, you know, to the actual record. But most times it doesn't really matter, as long as the music is good and the pressing is decent enough and in a decent enough condition to actually enjoy it. That's what matters to me. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I'm curious to know how you store your collection, if it's alphabetically, by year of release, by label. All of these things, for me, I tried them. They just make no sense in my head enough to know where to find things and just go straight to the point of like, I'm looking for this. I know exactly where to find it. This is the version of storage and collection that works the best in my head. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, all that jazz, you know what to do, and I'll see you on the next one.